So yeah, now let's moving further. We will discussing, this will be the part third of the subject that is going on, that is web terminologies and information retrieval. So this will be the part 3 of the complete playlist of this WTIR subject. So here we will discuss about the limitations of term document matrix, as you can see on the screen. And you will also get the notes, these handwritten notes, without any charges. They are absolutely free. You will get the PDF of these handwritten notes in the description box, and from there you can download them easily. And just by listen to my explanation, and by just reading the notes thoroughly, and just remembering some important definition, remembering some basic concept, you can, yeah, easily get the good marks in your exam by just uh, going through this subject, and by just understanding this complete basics that I'm going to create on this channel. So yeah, just without wasting time, now we'll discuss about today's topic, that is the limitation of this term document incident matrix. So as you can see on your screen, there are some limitations. Like first is the frequency cannot be determined. So like whenever we are using this term document incident matrix, by the way, I have not made the separate video on this, what is this term document incident matrix, because this is very easy. So that's why I was thinking that there is no need to make a particular video. It might be possible that you already know what is this term document incident matrix, but if any chances you don't know anything and you want a separate video for this, so you can let me know in the comment section. So no limitations, like this is not successful, this term document incident matrix, because the frequency cannot be determined. Why this frequency cannot be determined? This is led to the second point. If large number of documents are there, then it is very difficult to draw a matrix. See, if you have a two documents, three documents, okay, where you are having just only one sentence, one line, so you can easily make a term document incident matrix by just targeting the particular word, and just by denoting 0 and 1. So you can easily make if you have a small number of documents. But consider if you have a large number of documents in this world, in this today's world, where we have a large amount of data, large amount of documents. So it might be possible that you also have a large number of documents. So it is very difficult or very complex task, or you can say a impossible task, to create a matrix, term document matrix, for large number of documents where you are having a huge number of documents. So it might be not possible that you are just making this term document incidence matrix. And like if you are making, so the frequency cannot be determined. Okay, so that's basically the issue, you can say limitation. First is the frequency cannot be determined, because the reason for this, that if we have a large number of documents, then they are difficult to draw a matrix for that, because we can only draw a matrix, we can represent the zeros and one only for small number of documents. Okay, so this is basically the first and second point they are just trying to say. Next comes the third point, that is very important point, and that is very special point also, because some of the students basically knows the this third point. Most of the student knows first and second point, but yeah, some of few students basically know this third point. So the third point is basically that this term document incident matrix is a sparse matrix. The sparse is not clear because this writing is just fallen down on to the extra spaces. But yeah, this term document matrix is basically sparse. This is sparse matrix. Okay, you can understand this is sparse matrix. Just note it down, and just while just if you are writing these notes, or if you are just taking the photocopy of these notes, so just please make it correct. This is sparse matrix. Okay, this is written sparse, but yeah, due to some accident, yeah, it might not be clear to you, but this is sparse. Now it might be possible you don't know what is sparse matrix. So basically sparse matrix is nothing, the matrix which has, you know, the matrix basically nothing but the relation between rows and columns. Matrix basically where you are having some number of rows, some number of columns, so that is basically a matrix. So yeah, we were talking that term document matrix, that we are drawing a matrix. So that matrix is basically a sparse matrix. Sparse matrix is the matrix basically in which we have the most of the entries are zero. Okay, so most of the entries are not one, they are basically zero. So that if in a matrix the entries are zeros, most of the entries are zero, so that matrix is termed as sparse matrix. And this is our term document incident matrix is also a sparse matrix where we have most of the entries zero. Okay, so these are some limitations, like frequency cannot be determined, and if large number of documents were there, so difficult to draw a matrix. And third, that is the most important, that this term document incident matrix is the sparse matrix. Sparse matrix is the matrix where we have the most of the entries are zero. Okay, so in term document incident matrix we have most of the entries are zero. Okay, so these are basically the limitations of term document incident matrix. This inverted index here, basically I have written some summary, but yeah, I will cover it in most further videos where I will be discussing it in detail with you. Okay, so now let's move ahead and see what the next topic is. So here, yeah, the next topic comes is tokenization. I know that the page is, it might be possible that page is not clear to you or not visible to you clearly, like crystal clear, it is not visible to you. So the solution is this, that I will be providing you the PDF in the description box of this handwritten notes, that is absolutely free, no charges for that. So there you will be getting a uh, well cleared PDF scan photo where you will be able to see each and every topic clearly. Okay, here this tokenization concept, I think is not a crystal clear, but yeah, it is clear, you can see it easily. So let's discuss what is this tokenization. Tokenization basically very much important. You can also it might be possible that you can get a definition of 1 2 3 marks or 2 3 4 marks of tokenization in your exam. Okay, so just basically understand what is this tokenization. So tokenization basically nothing but it is basically you can read this, that it is a common pre-processing step in NLP and IR tasks. So what is this NLP? NLP is nothing but the natural language processing, and IR is basically information retrieval. So this tokenization is basically a pre-processing step. So pre-processing step, so basically means the uh, uh, step basically that is followed before the processing. So the particular step that is followed before the processing, processing here in terms of this subject WTIR is processing, basically the processing of documents. Okay, so the task which we are doing before the processing, pre-processing means pre means before, so before the processing is basically the tokenization. And when we are like retrieving the information, and when we are using this natural language processing, so the tokenization basically the pre-processing task in NLP, that is natural language processing and information retrieval. Okay, so now we have understand that this basically takes place before the NLP and IR tasks. Okay, now what is this? What is this basically tokenization? So tokenization, as you can read the definition, that is very clear to you. The task of chopping the text into pieces called tokens. So tokenization is basically we have a text, and chopping the text, the text chopping the text into a pieces is basically called tokenization. Okay, and these pieces, the pieces of text that we have chopped are known as tokens, and that complete works process is known as tokenization. Okay, so the task of chopping the text into pieces, like we have a text, we are chopping it into a pieces, and these pieces are particularly known as tokens, and this complete process is known as tokenization. Very simple. Next is process of converting a string of text into a sequence of token. Okay, like we have a complete string. Now see the example. By example you will get to know it clearly, and you will understand it very clearly. Okay, see, if we have an input, what Krishna is the supreme lord, so this is basically the input, that where we have a text that is Krishna is the supreme lord. Now we are performing the tokenization. So by performing tokenization, what we will do, we will chop the text into pieces. Like we have a complete text that is Krishna is the supreme lord. Now we are performing tokenization, so we'll chop it into a individual, you can say individual, or you can say into pieces. And these pieces, like now we have like Krishna is separate, is separate, the supreme lord, they all are now separated, and we have chopped them into a pieces. Now here Krishna is the supreme lord. These basically are known as terms, or we can say word, or we can also say tokens. And this complete process of chopping this complete text, that is Krishna is the supreme lord, into a pieces, and these pieces are basically known as terms or words, or you can say tokens, and this complete process is known as tokenization. So you can read the definition. Tokens is basically an instance of a sequence of characters. You can say this is a sequence of character, and here the instance of this is known as tokens. Okay, so this is basically tokenization and token. You can easily read. You will get to know what is this basically. I made it clear to you very clearly. Okay. Now, what is this basically a term? So, a term is basically a Farab's normalized type that is included in the IR system's dictionary. So term is basically nothing. I told you tokens, terms, these are basically related terms that are related to each other. Okay, so term is basically a Farab's normalized type that is included in information retrieval systems dictionary. So these are basically like Krishna. When we have separated them, we have chopped them into pieces. So they are basically known as terms, words you can say, or you can say also tokens. They are basically relatable things. You can say token, you can say term, you can say word. They're basically the relatable thing. Okay, so this is about tokenization, tokens, terms, what is this tokenization and where it is used and all that. Okay, so this is all about this lecture. We'll continue further in the next part. Till then, thank you.